Hello, it's Jeanette with Amazing Paper Crafts. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I have a card project for you, and I'm going to be showing you how I made this card with this lovely border and the hello label. Isn't that pretty? And I have these here because I'm making a set in the 5 new in colors. This is Call Me Clover, beautiful green. And then we've got a lovely red, which is called Lovely Lipstick. And we have Grapefruit Grove. It looks like the inside of a pink grapefruit, doesn't it? And then this one is Pineapple Punch. It's a really bright yellow. And then, of course, this one here is our Blueberry Bushel. And all of the cards that I made with them opening this way. Well, this one, I wasn't paying attention, and I had it opening this way. So I'm going to make this one over again, but I'll still use this one, of course. And all of these cards use the stamp set called Accented Blooms. Okay, isn't that pretty? This beautiful frame here. And we got a thank you label, and we have a hello label there, and look at these 3 elements, and that's the 3 elements that I used, plus the hello for this card. So what you're going to need is a piece of cardstock, and this is the Blueberry Bushel, and this measures 8.5 by 4 1/4, and I have folded it at 4 1/4, and I'm just going to use my bone folder to make sure it's folded really well. Okay, and then you're going to need a piece of cardstock that measures 4 by 4 inch square. So anyway, I'm going to bring in my Stamparatus tool to show you that I have made myself a little L so that it helps me stamp in the corner here, because the Stamparatus does a little bit better when you're stamping out here. So I just kind of made it myself a little corner, and I'm going to show you how I did that in just a moment. So here's a really simple way that you can make a little L for your Stamparatus in the corner, like I showed you. Okay, so I have a strip of thick cardstock here, and I just need a straight edge on both sides, and I'm going to use my Stampin' Trimmer, and I am going to take some repositionable tape, and I'm just going to go ahead and just put a little bit of tape on here. Now I want to make sure that my 1 inch square is even on both sides. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to that. So here is a 7 inch by 7 inch square. That should cover your Stamparatus pretty good, because it's just a little bit bigger than 7 by 7. And what I'm going to do is use this strip as my stopper. You see, so that I know that every time I cut a strip here, it's going to be exactly the right size. So I'm going to just go ahead and cut the first strip, and with the second strip, I am going to I'm turning the paper so that the long side is horizontal, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut the next strip. And now I know both of my strips are pretty perfect. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Let's bring in our Stamparatus, and I want the long side on one, and I want the short side on the other, and I want them to butt up. You see, they go 7 by 7 here. And then I'm just going to use some regular Scotch tape, making sure that they stay right in the corner. And I'm going to go ahead and tape the other side too. With Scotch tape. And now I've got my L, so that whenever I want to do some stamping, let me get a piece of paper here, and I need to go in that corner here. Now it lines up really nice. Now sometimes what I do, if I'm not going to use my my magnets, I'll just go ahead and put some more of this repositionable tape on the other side. But most of the time I'm using my magnets to hold this square in place. And I keep my magnets here. I've wrapped them with some painter's tape. Okay, so they're going to stay put. These are some really, really strong magnets. So my square will stay put for all of my stamping. Okay, so now you can make your own L for your Stamparatus. So the first stamp that I'm going to be using is this really lovely, I don't know what you call that, some kind of scroll with a little heart. Okay, that's this one, the very top one here. And what I'm going to do, so I'm going to place that there for now, my stamp set that is. And on this square piece, I'm going to just try to eyeball the middle and on the edge as close as I can to the edge. All right. And then instead of just closing my my hinge, I'm going to pick up the hinge and I'm going to move it over one, because I know that 3 of these are going to fit, and I want to make sure that they're centered in the middle. So make sure I got this centered here. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this up, make sure that it's stamped down, and with my blueberry bushel, I gotta find it now. Where are all my ink colors? Okay. Here, sorry about that. I thought I had my little ink colors out. See, I've used the uninked ink spots to make a little ink pad for all of my ink colors here. See, these come uninked and you use your re-inkers to ink them up. So I'm going to grab my blueberry bushel and I'm going to place this card directly in the corner, and I am going to stamp this. But what I'm going to use is my little, oops, if I can get this undone, I'm going to use a little block to help me hold it, because I'm going to be using that blueberry bushel a lot. So this little block just helps me lay it down and pick it up. That's all this is for. Okay, so I'm just going to tap, 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 inking this up. I'm going to bring this down, making sure this is in the corner. Okay, and then I'm going to go pick this up and go, actually, no. Why don't I just turn my card and do all the middles first? That way I'm not picking up my my little plastic plate, my plastic hinge plate every time. I'd be doing that like crazy doing this. So just turn your card piece when you're doing a design similar to this. Okay, so just make sure you have it right in the corner there. Okay, now I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to move it to the first slot, and I'm going to do the same thing. And turn my paper. Turn my paper. Make sure it's in the corner. Now Stampin' Up sells extra magnets, so if you think you need another magnet for here, you could use the small little magnets that you can get anywhere, or you can order some of these block magnets from Stampin' Up. I think I might be doing that. So I'm going to step it over 2 times so that I can stamp it right there on all 4 sides. Okay. See, I am stamping, I'm inking up my stamp and making sure this is in the corner. And then I'm going to turn. Ink it up. And here we go. We've got the border done now. Isn't that cool? Okay, so let's do the corners. Now, for the corner stamp, I'm still going to use this, but I'm going to take it off my plate right now. I'm going to go ahead and take this vine, or let me finish the border. How about if I do that? I'm going to take this little flower that's right in here, and I am going to place it. I'm going to take this. I don't really need it to step over, because you're only doing 2. So I'm going to place this right here, making sure that I've got it even on the card there. I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to stamp it. I'm going to turn my card and stamp it and do the same thing on all four sides. Okay, now I'm going to pick it up and move it over one step, and I'm going to ink it up and make sure that's in the corner. I'm going to stamp it down and do that on all four sides. My square is not perfect. I can tell when I put it in the corner. Okay, so now I have the border completed. Now let's do the corner. Okay, so I'm going to take this off, and then I am going to place this right in the corner here. Okay, and just try to eyeball it straight. It kind of doesn't matter if it's just a little bit off, because then all four corners will be symmetrical and they'll all be off. So you'll be fine. Oops, you know what? I didn't need to have this over. I'm going to go ahead and place this in the first slot here so that I've got the full plate to work with. Okay, let's turn this over. We're going to put it in the corner. See, I'm glad I'm filming all my mistakes, because these are things you learn from your mistakes, right? Okay, so let's place that in the corner. I'm going to ink it up just on all four corners with this little vine. It's a very pretty design. You could even color these in if you want. Very nice. Okay. Okay, and now I've got that done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe my, I'm going to do a little wiping of this off. This is the one that I'm going to be reusing again. This design right here. I'm just kind of wiping it off with my little cleaning block. And I'm going to put this right here, kind of in the corner here. I got to kind of turn it, make sure I've got this right. Okay. Yeah, right there in the corner. Let's move this off. Okay. And we're going to pick that up, and we're going to do all four corners with that. I can see I left a little residue on there. You probably can't see it, but I can. But it's okay. I'm stamping it, and actually, I'm going to stamp that one more time. It didn't. There, that's better. Okay, let's go. With this corner here, that corner here. If you're wondering how this block is staying on there, what I did is I used some two-way glue, and I put it on top. First I drew an X on it so that I'd know that that's the side of the glue, and then I put the two-way glue on it, let it dry overnight, and now, oops, I just ruined this thing. And now you can stick this, you can stick it right here, so that you can have a little handle. And as you can see, I kind of messed up here, but that's okay. We're going to continue. I should pay attention, pay more attention to what I'm doing here. Okay, last block here. Of course, you know I'm going to make it over again for the picture. Okay, now we're ready for the label. You see how easy that was using the Stamparatus tool? We're going to put this aside, and I'm going to make that label for the front. But first, let me tape it onto here. I'm going to be using some snail adhesive, and I'm going to try to make sure that this is even Steven around this corner here. Okay, that's pretty good. Now let's make our label. I have a little piece of Whisper White cardstock here, and I'm going to take that hello stamp and I'm going to put it on, let me see what block will it fit. This is block D. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and use this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out my big stamp pad and I'm going to put this little stamp pad away. As you can see, it's dangerous when you leave your stamp pads open. All right, so our new stamp pads open like a compact, like a makeup compact. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to just open it up and then slide it. And now I am just going to ink that up. I am going to place that down. Isn't that pretty? Oh my goodness, that came out so good. Okay, I'm so proud of myself when I do a good job stamping. Okay, so now I'm going to punch this out, and I'm going to be using the Tailored Tag punch. Okay, this one came out, I believe, in our occasions catalog this year. Okay, I make sure that I stamp it or punch it evenly. I am a little bit shaky, but we'll go with that. Okay, and that's not too bad. I didn't do too bad of a job. Now I'm going to take some Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm going to put some dimensionals on here. I think I'll put about 4 of them. Right here and right here. Bring in the card. And let's take these off. These little backer papers from the dimensionals, we'll take them off. And let's make sure that we're opening it the correct way. Oops, I don't want to lay it down before it's time here. Okay, we want that right in the center as evenly as we can. Okay. And there's the card. And now I'm going to put a piece of Whisper White cardstock that measures 4 inches by 4 inches on the inside of this, and my card will be complete. So I hope that I've taught you something today, how to use your Stamparatus in a little different way. I'm sure you can figure out a lot of different things that you could do with your Stamparatus stamping tool. I just love it, and it is my favorite stamping tool of all time. So once again, if you need any of the tools and supplies that I used in this video, I will have a list of it in the description of this video, also on my blog. But you go to www.geamazingpapercrafts.stampinup.net. And I hope to be your demonstrator if you don't already have one. Once again, I'm Jeanette with Geamazing Paper Crafts, and you make it a great day. Bye-bye.